This is a bunch of lenses, and they're all metaphors, of course. Does it make sense that your chakras themselves are lenses on relationship and life and experience? And they're the lenses that you look through subconsciously or unconsciously as you see or experience every dimension of what we call being alive or relating to others or learning anything about anything during life. And on top of those lenses, like at your root chakra, it's a lens. And on top of your root chakra lens, there are lots and lots of other lenses we call beliefs or positionalities or simulacra or recordings or ego identity fragments or karmas or resonances with the tribal unconsciousness or consensus consciousness. It's not really that very conscious. We just are being nice. And so each of your chakras, which is a lens, is overlaid with many, many other lenses, like you go to the ophthalmologist or optometrist, I forget which it is, and where they put several lenses right in front of your eye and they get clearer and clearer and clearer as they put more lenses. Well, the challenge is that in your chakras, when you put all these belief lenses and projection and reaction lenses and distorting karma lenses and fear lenses, the picture gets less clear rather than more clear. So if you take away all those lenses, is that the antidote? Is that going to make everything clear? You'll understand everything and be enlightened? Is that the way it works? Are the lenses basically energy constructs that hold beliefs or ideas or data or recordings of misinterpretations of prior experiences that are kind of like a journal or where you've jotted down notes from across your whole lifetime or across many lifetimes? It doesn't mean that what you wrote down or jotted down in these notes is accurate. It just means that was your best interpretation in that moment of what you were experiencing, and you jotted it down, and then it became a lens through which you were looking at the world. And then the world became what you imagined and projected it to be. How conscious a process is that? For most human life processes, it's the best they've got to learn from. We learn through those lenses, and the accumulation of 1,000 lifetimes looking through all these different lenses, all these innumerable different vantage points of relationship and life and self and other and world and animals and nature. Eventually, it gets us to a point where we evolve and learn a lot. And then we finally get to a point where we recognize the lenses are redundant. Now, up to a point, and that's where these pictures on this screen come in. So the bottom left, if you had a fully conscious human being that was blind or had impaired vision, would they still need a pair of glasses? Well, if they're nearsighted or farsighted, and they're very consciously nearsighted or farsighted, would they benefit from glasses? And if you had a very conscious person who was on a boat sailing across the sea and they were looking for land, might they benefit from a set of binoculars? And if you were a very conscious person and you wanted to see an ant on the ground very up close, might you use a magnifying glass? So the question we would ask is, Do you utilize the lenses in your life consciously, or do you utilize them unconsciously? And the more conscious one becomes, the more consciously they utilize lenses. The less conscious they are, the less consciously they utilize lenses. And we're showing here telescopes also, and giant radio telescopes that would show us space or other star systems or other galaxies. They're all useful. And the question is, if we're all utilizing lenses, we've got up here in the top of the label the statement, the utility of lenses, including data lenses and all social media. So right now, does social media collect data on almost all human beings on the planet? Now the question is, do they utilize that data consciously, or do they utilize it unconsciously? So intelligence gathering systems, the CIA or the NSA, are they constantly gathering data and intelligence? And is that a set of lenses that they would operate from or make decisions based upon? And which of those lenses is completely accurate and clear and true and complete in its functionality or application? Google has a profile on each of you. Based upon your queries utilizing their search engine. And is that profile a lens through which they view you and make decisions related to you? How do you feel about them apples? Does it make sense that many different organizations likely have some form of a profile for anybody and everybody that's participated on their platform? That's either more or less accurate, more or less complete. These are our assumptions. We're not claiming to have access to their process. So that all of that said, is that a lens that they might use in a tribal sort of way? To try to understand human beings or their choices. So is any profile ever accurate? Is it ever completely accurate? Is it just an attempt to take a snapshot of some portion or some characteristic of a topic or a person or a dynamic? Does it make sense that this conversation about the different kinds of lenses that we utilize in life, plus all of the lenses of karmas and beliefs and that are projective as well as distorting of what we interpret, and all of the lenses that data produce that feed algorithms on social media platforms, they're all lenses, and they inform us of something. That doesn't mean they inform us accurately of what is, or that we can see what is, and therefore that we can understand what is. And it also means that it's useful to have your reading glasses if you need to read little tiny print. Or it's useful to have your binoculars if you want to watch birds. It's useful to have clear, optimally clear chakras if you want to be able to make wise, discerning decisions in any dimension of life.